Well, today is the day. It's a day that I've been anxiously awaiting for some time. I am aquascaping tank number 1 of 6 new tanks that I've taken over in the fish room. They are 20 and 29 gallon tanks. This one is very, very special because it is getting some really cool inhabitants. Welcome back to the Smallscape. Oh yes, I am very excited and a little nervous because I have not aquascaped for like 3 months and I feel like I'm really rusty. I am rusty, but these fish that I'm getting, if you've never seen them before, you might want to sit down because they are amazing. They are beautiful. Absolutely love them. Can't wait to have them in my new Nano Nation. The only problem is that there's two issues that I'm gonna have to deal with, and that's, I'm gonna explain it in a little bit when we get started here, but very excited. Hope you enjoy. Oh, and before I forget, these fish are just, they're it in the fish room. They're just, it's all the buzz in all the tanks. Everybody's talking about these rummy nose rasboras, so beautiful. Mr. Primetime's doing a species spotlight on them this Sunday, so definitely check that out if you want to learn something about them. First, let's start off with a refresher. This is the basement fish room, and these are the 6 new tanks that I have acquired. It's the new Nano Nation, 2 29s on the bottom and 4 20 longs. And this top left one, that's the one we're doing today. This is my official sketch sheet of the 6 tanks. Yep, you can't see the other 5 yet. Now, this is the tank, how it looks right now. It's kind of a mess. It's very natural looking, but there are a few things that I really like. I do love that rock on the right. The crypts are really great, and that rock on the left I really like. I don't know if I'm going to use it in one of the other tanks or this one. Don't know, but they are super cool. They both kind of look like cliffs, so love them. And the current occupants will be staying along with their new friends. There's a sailfin molly, that's that beautiful redfish, and then a little posse of pandacories. There's a pleco in there somewhere, and some microtinopoma, I want to say 3 or 4 of them. That sponge filter will be staying right there, but I'm gonna be making sure I can't see that sucker. And those big huge crypts in the center, they're really beautiful. I love them, except they're not gonna be smack in the middle of the tank. They're gonna have to go somewhere else. Here's my scaping stuff. I'm gonna be using Cerise stone. Those are some sweet pieces, and a combination of different driftwoods. Just you won't see a whole lot of it. And all my scaping stuff, whatever I might use, but I think I'm going to be sticking with Anubias and Crypts. It's amazing how big the tank looks when you take out all the rocks, but it's also a mess. And that beautiful substrate, oof. What I'm going to do, it's gravel, and it's really old black gravel. There's all the plants that I pulled out. A lot of crypts that were in there, and the rocks are just going to have to come out for right now. And my little inhabitants are up there chilling out with some air in the bucket, and it's time to get cleaning. But the substrate, it's old black gravel, yuck. I'm going to try and move it all to the back of the tank and kind of maybe prop up the driftwood. That's all going to be good. There it is. It looks so beautiful. Nope, I'm not going to use any of it at all. I just pulled it all out. I didn't want any of it. I wanted a fresh start with some new beautiful black sand. That's what I did. Just a bag from Petco. And here it is, my little combination of spiderwood and just random pieces of driftwood. Most of it you're not going to see, and they're just, some of them are very tiny little pieces. I'm going to glue them and then also use some of the rocks to kind of hold them down. Looks really kind of cool with those rocks added. But if all the plants that I happen to have, if I get to add most of them in, you're not going to see a whole lot of this. It's going to be very lush. I wanted a very lush planting, and there are lots of little spaces in here that I can plant crypts. I can even plant crypts along the back behind the rocks. I wanted to leave lots of spaces so I can really fill it in. And then that sponge filter base back there, I did leave it there, so I knew that I would leave room for it. And if I play my cards right, I will be able to plant in front of it so I don't have to see it. started with a bunch of Anubias, and I just kind of actually, with using all this little spider wood and all the little pieces of driftwood, you don't really even have to glue a lot of it. A lot of it I just kind of wedged in between the little branches, and then I placed some of the other ones just to see how I liked them, and then glued them later. But even like the roots of this Anubias, it's just so beautiful. So issue number 1 was what to do with that substrate, how I was going to hide it and mask it with the new stuff. This issue number 2 is, well, I had half the scape planned. This is the portion that I had planned. That's all that I had, and it really didn't fill up the tank like I really kind of thought it wouldn't. And then I just had to kind of sit and stare for a long time. After I added the plants, the fish really had to go in eventually. So after a couple hours, I had to get them in, planted all the crypts and the Anubias, and then I added on the left-hand side there the 2 rocks that I really wanted to use, and I was able to find a random piece of spider wood to also tuck in over on that left-hand side. So this was actually issue number 3 that came up, which was I actually had to come back a number of days. This took me 3 days to keep coming back, and I didn't record any of it because I didn't think the scape was even going to turn out. But the scape is all about these beautiful fish. These are the rummy nose rasbora. I think they're even more beautiful than the rummy nose tetra, and they're also known as the Asian rummy nose rasbora or the sabwa barb. But they're just adorable. They're beautiful, and they reach only 1.5 inches. So I've got a group of, I want to say 16 to 18 in this 20 long, and they're getting along great with everybody. If you'll notice, I do have a little group, I want to say 10, of some green kubutai because I didn't want anybody to take away anything from these beautiful fish, except for, of course, the sailfish molly. He's kind of a star too. But these rummy nose are so personable, they actually look at you. So I hope you liked the video. Again, I apologize for not recording a lot of it. I did not have a lot of confidence, but that's what perseverance does, and some patience. Just take a number of days. That's what I did. I took like 3 days to aquascape this, and every single time I went to go down the basement with stuff, Mr. Primetime's like, "Don't you touch that tank. Don't you touch that tank." I did touch that tank. Oh well. So I'm glad it worked out in the end. I really like it. I hope they do. They're so much fun to watch. They're just the most fascinating fish. Highly recommend you look at them and maybe even keep them in the future, and look forward to Mr. Primetime's video coming out very soon, I believe on Sunday, and you'll get to learn all about these beautiful fish. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.